I have never met a shepherd before, so right now I am so excited to be joined by Meewasin's resident shepherd, Jared Epp. Jared, this is such a unique career, a unique job. How did this start for you 14 years ago?
Yeah, the way it started was I had dogs. I was using dogs on cows in Alberta, and when we moved to Saskatchewan, was looking for a way to utilize them in a job again, and I became aware of Meewasin's different areas and the weed control efforts, and so through a series of events got connected and explored the option of using sheep grazing as a way to do some vegetation management without chemical. I absolutely love my job. Yeah, it takes you outside all day, kind of throughout spring, summer, fall, and different locations, and meet different people, but it's always the same office. You're always outside, usually on a horse, working dogs and managing sheep and goats. Yeah.
That's right, and you're often joined by your good friend Badger here.
That's right, yeah.
That's awesome. So since we are at the Swale, we've touched upon how important this land is for our province's history.
Right.
Why do we have sheep here?
The sheep are here kind of twofold. First of all, to mimic the grazing activity that would have happened with the bison and did happen with the bison, and now for so long, of course, that hasn't been present. So the ground has responded accordingly. And what we're finding is that without the bison grazing, certain species just take over, and so the balance seems to be lost. And so a lot of our precious, rare sort of native plants get overpowered by some dominant ones. Yeah, so the grazing actually really helps to restore that balance. It helps to hinder some of the invasives and really invigorate some of the ones that are at a disadvantage.
Very cool.
Yeah, and we can use, because the sheep have a preference, a taste preference, such as just like people do.
Yes.
We're able to utilize that preference to target a lot of our problem plants. Yeah, because they prefer them. So what we do is we've taken a predator, being the dog. My dogs are all border collies. I use 6 here, and so he just happens to be the one on shift when you arrived. Yes. But their instinct is telling them that they want to hunt. They're hunting dogs. And the way they hunt is by stalking and really mimicking a wolf. Yes. There's no kill, there's no eating, there's no attacking, there's just the hunt. Okay. And just like a wolf pack functions under the leadership of an alpha, these dogs function under my leadership. And with such, we can teach them commands to move the dog around the flock, into the flock, and that's the only way that we could take 422 sheep, which is what we have here,
yes,
into landscape like that with no fence that holds sheep other than the spot we got right now so that we can be talking.
Tell us a bit about their storing of their food.
Right, so when people eat, we bite, we chew, we swallow. Yeah. When grazing prey animals eat, such as a sheep or a deer, they basically just bite and swallow, and they're not chewing at the time.
Badger wants some.
As we can see here. And what that does is when they swallow, it goes into the left side of their body. There's something called a rumen, which is basically a storage compartment. And you'll see it on some of these sheep that they're bulging on their left side because that's full. Once it's full, they're going to lay down, group up tight, and regurgitate that food and chew it properly. Once they've done that and that rumen has been depleted, they get up and fill it again. It's pretty neat. Yeah.
It is absolutely fascinating. I've learned so much about these sheep, even about good old Badger here, and the Swale, of course. So happy sheep mean they're going to help us conserve this space, which is the best news out of everything. All right, well, thanks so much, Jared. There is so much more coming to you from the Swale, so you definitely want to stay tuned. We'll be right back after the break.